In this sponsored tutorial, I'm going to show you a relatively new page builder called Brizy. I'm sure you've heard of it already. It's gotten to the point where it's very capable and it's a direct competitor to things like Elementor, Divi, Thrive themes, and I personally think it's great. I think it's worth a try for sure. It's also free. It has a pro add-on, but the one I'm going to show you today is totally free. And the pro add-on has this option called Brizy Cloud, and it is an absolute game changer. I'm going to mention it at the end of this video and show you quickly how it works. And I'm going to create a subsequent video as well that's going to show you how it works in detail. And it is a game-changing feature. And if you like this kind of video, make sure you click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. And leave a comment down below just to say hi or ask a question, and like this video because that helps this video reach more people and helps this channel grow. And let's grow this channel together. And with that out of the way, let's get started. The first thing we have to do is install the plugin. It's a free plugin. You get it right from the website. If you go to wplearninglab.com/resources, there's a link in the description down below to this page. Brizy is this one right here. Just click on the button, get it here. It'll take you to their site. Click on download now. And you can enter your email address right here. Click on download Brizy, or don't enter your email address and click on no thanks. I just want to download Brizy to download to your hard drive, and just download it really quickly down here. There's some videos to watch as well if you want to watch those. Now to install the plugin, go to plugins, then add new, then go to upload plugin, click on choose file, find it on your hard drive, this one right here, click on open, click on install now, and then activate. And now we have it installed and activated right here. There is a pro version that we'll talk about in a little bit. You can add that on just like Elementor. You have the main plugin that's free, and then the pro version is an add-on plugin that you install afterwards. Let's go to Brizy settings. And here we have general settings, so we can activate where we want Brizy to be activated. We have a role manager to set who has access to it. We have templates, and keep in mind this is the free version, so you can build templates in the free version of Brizy. That's not something you can do in the free version of Elementor. Leads, you can collect leads because they have form builder and opt-in builders built into Brizy, so the leads would show up here when you collect them. You can optimize images using ShortPixel. Just add your API key right here, and it connects directly to ShortPixel. You don't have to add the ShortPixel plugin to your site, which saves adding another plugin. So that's a nice little feature. And if we go to pages and then add new, we're just going to create a new Brizy page and see how this page builder looks in the wild. Once we're in the new page editor, we click on edit with Brizy, and we can start building our page. You'll notice right away it's a little more minimalist than Elementor. We won't have that giant panel on the left. We still have a panel, just not as giant. Let's click on the plus icon, start building our page. We have blocks, just like you see in Elementor. The pro version adds complete layouts if you want to have them. Not just one page layouts like Elementor, but multiple page layouts like in Divi. Basically what Brizy does is it combines and mixes and matches all the best components of other page builders and puts them all into this one. So we're going to quickly build a really quick page. Let's just choose cover. Let's make it dark. This is the same blocks, just a dark version of them. You click on dark or light, just so you can see it's the same blocks, just has different versions. Let's add this one. Let's add another block below that. Let's use a call to action, and let's do get in touch. Let's add another one. Let's make it light this time. Let's make it services, and we'll add this one right here. Then we're going to finish off with a contact form or a contact area. Let's use this one with a nice map. Now we have a nice little page layout here, and it's very minimalist. You'll notice there aren't too many options that you see on the page as you're working on it, just like in Divi. But if we click on any of these elements, we're going to see options appear. Click on this button, and we have all the button options built right into here. There are some cases where you see a button that says additional settings. For example, right there. It opens on the right-hand panel. Sometimes there'll be a little text link saying more settings. You click on that and open this panel on the right. But you can manipulate pretty much anything you want on the page using these options. Change the button size, have it filled or not filled. For the corners, you can have them rounded or squared, or you choose a custom rounding, so you can set it to whatever you want. You can have a border or no border. You can add an icon. There's over 4,000 icons in this icon library. Let's add the UFO because that's always really relevant. So there's the icon. You can change position, and it's all point and click, as you can tell. You can change the typography right in here, change the colors of the background, the text, the border, the shadow, and then on hover. So whenever you see this little finger hovering over the button, this is the on hover options for the background, the text, the border. Let's just change the background color to this when you hover. And now we have our new color. It's that simple. Then we have our link options. So we can link to somewhere. That's what buttons do. They go somewhere. You can choose to open a new tab, make it no follow. So instead of having these option panels on the left-hand side like you do in Elementor, where there's a lot of different tabs and different places to do things, I find this to be much more concise and easier to access. Choose the centering or the layout options. The gear opens a panel on the right like we saw. You can change the padding and the margin. Go to advanced. You can change z-index, CSS classes, entrance animations, and all that kind of stuff. Z-index is very important for making your website layered. If you have advanced effects, advanced motion effects on your site, you probably want to have a z-index. Not something you have to worry about if you're just starting out. You can duplicate this button by clicking right there. And you'll notice it goes right to the right-hand side instead of being stacked. This is a feature that recently came to Elementor, but Brizy's had this for a really long time. Add more buttons and they're all just horizontally across. And then if we change any of the settings on this, let's change the background color to green. Right click on here, we can copy and then paste the style, paste the whole button or just paste the styles to another button. Then we have those options carried over, just like we've seen other page builders. These aren't earth-shattering features yet. I'll get to those in just a minute, but I'm just showing you that this is very comparable. If you have the other page builders and you're used to the abilities they give you, Brizy gives them to you as well. You can edit text right in line, start writing wherever you want, have all these options appear for your text. And the text area is an example of where if we click on the gear, we see a more settings option, and that opens the tab on the right-hand side to adjust margins and padding in the advanced tab again. And for the elements, you adjust margins and padding right on the elements, but for larger sections, like this whole header area, you notice if you hover over the top, you see this light blue highlight, that is the padding at the top. You can just drag and drop that to adjust it, just like you do in Divi. Nice feature. I love that about Divi as well, having that feature. That's not currently available in Elementor. We have this background image. It might not be the best position. You'll just see the top of it and our element is quite tall. Maybe we want to have the background image a little higher. In Elementor, you have options like choosing center, center left, center right, center center, things like that. In Brizy, you have this image, little thumbnail, and this little dot that you can drag around and you see the image moving. We're actually doing what you do in Elementor when you choose center center or center left, center right, where you only have those specific options. You can place this little dot anywhere in the image. So if you have a huge image, you can put this anywhere and have the background image positioned exactly how you want it to. Now when I move this side to side, you see the image is not moving. That's because it's just the exact width of the browser, or my browser is even bigger, so it has to stretch to that width. But if my browser or the background area that this image was applied to is smaller, you'd be shifting around the image to choose the exact spot that you want it to be. You can also add a video for the background or a map. So here we have a map showing up. And that's a pretty cool feature, having a map in the background. And if we go back to our image, we are able to add parallax to the image. We can have fixed or animated. Fixed means it will not move. The image will not move in the background, but the content will scroll over top of it. But for animated, the background image actually moves a slight amount. Hard to tell in this video probably, but if you watch really carefully, let's do it like this. My mouse cursor is right here at the very top of the bridge. As I scroll, the top of the bridge actually moves, but the content below it moves faster. So you end up going over the bridge anyway, or over the background image. So that's what animated is. Animated is they're both moving. Fixed is just the foreground is moving. Also choose none. And we also have hover options for the background. So if we have the background image positioned here for when you're not hovering, switch it to hover. Let's change where this is. And now when you hover over the image or hover over this section, the image will then move to whatever you set as the location on the hover tab. It's a pretty neat little feature. Now, if you want to turn this header into a slider, just click on this hexagon, choose make it a slider, and just like that lickety split, we now have a slider. We see the little preview buttons appear at the bottom, arrows on the right. We can go in and change this to say, what a bridge. And now we have our two slides. Beautiful world. What a bridge. It's that easy. Want to customize the slider? Head back in here. We have a new tab available called the slider tab. We can choose autoplay. We can choose what the little icons at the bottom appear as. You can choose the arrow types, and you can keep adding more slider content to here. Turn the slider off just by going to here and clicking off. You can also make this global, which I'm sure you saw. that means that this whole section is going to be available throughout the website. And speaking of syncing, there's something I'm going to show you in a little bit. It is a feature that no other page builders have. I haven't seen this anywhere else, and it is called Brizy Cloud, and it allows you to build pages in the cloud in Brizy and then have those synced right to your WordPress sites, multiple sites if you want. And it also allows you to build pages and sites outside of WordPress, meaning you don't need to have WordPress at all. If you wanted to build just a one-page website and it's going to be super simple, you don't want to go through the hassle of creating a WordPress site and then updating plugins and having all this stuff to do every day because plugin updates come hot and heavy in WordPress. If you want to avoid all that, you can use Brizy Cloud, build a page in Brizy Cloud, have that hosted on your hosting account, and not have to worry about WordPress. It's a pretty fantastic feature that we're going to look at in a little bit. Something else I really like about Brizy is the styling options. You have a little paintbrush here with this tab that flies out. These styles are global, meaning if you change them in here, they change throughout your website. And that is what a CSS style sheet was meant to do. Back in the day when you had CSS being developed, people would be creating HTML pages, they'd style them, they create the next page, style that one separately, create the next page, style that one separately. It was a huge pain. So CSS was developed. So then you could have one CSS style sheet that applied everywhere. And page builders kind of forgot about that. Page builders, you still, for the most part, style independently each page. Now, Brizy has these global styling options, and Elementor as well to some degree, but they're not quite as thorough as they are here because you can set everything. You can create new styling. The current style is the Brizy default, which is going to be applied everywhere. You can change the font that you want. You can click into the paragraph. So every paragraph on your site is going to have whatever options you set in here for desktop. Switch them to tablet for whatever you set here and then mobile for this one. So you can set your paragraph styles for your entire site for all devices. Subtitle styles, above title, heading 1, heading 2, heading 6, buttons at the bottom. Add new down here. Click on there, we have new ones that pop up. New style number 10. And we can choose what these styles are here. And then once we've defined a new style, we open the context menu for anything we want to edit on the page. Click on the typography button and choose the style we want. We see the new ones right here, new style 10 and new style 11. We just added those in the styling tab, and now they're available on the page and they're global. You apply that to any page on your site and it's going to be styled the same way throughout your site. Something that's very different about Brizy is that there's no save draft button. It auto saves your work. When you want to publish, you click publish, but you don't have to save things as you go or when you leave the editor because it's automatically saved. There is an undo button, there is a redo button, a preview button, and then publish when you want to view the site. Now, a feature that I haven't seen on any other page builders is if you click on any one of these buttons, let's say this one right here, and we click on the link, and we choose anchor, we can anchor this link to any one of these blocks which we built into the page. So we currently have these 4 blocks. If we had 10, it'd show all 10 here. You just click on it, and now this link is going to go to that block. That's called an anchor. If we preview this page and now click on this button, it takes us right to the Contact Us block, which is pretty snazzy. Before it was, you had to make some classes, you had to link to that class with a hashtag and the URL, and it was kind of a pain. Now it's point and click with Brizy. And then if you want to reorder those blocks that you have on the page, you can just click and drag to reorder. You want the bottom block at the very top or the second to the top, put it right there. That's how easy it is. Then we preview, we click on this button, and it still goes down to the block that we linked it to before. It's not quite all the way down to the bottom because there's no more space at the bottom, right at the bottom of the page. But as you rearrange blocks on your site and you already have those anchors in place, those stay in place. They are anchored to this section no matter where you put it on the page. It's going to close these 2 tabs. Then we're going to scroll down here and look at our images. So when I was telling you earlier about the background image, how you can move it around, you can do the foreground images too. If I click on this image, click on the image options and zoom up so the image is bigger than the size of the area that's being viewed. Now if we move around this blue circle, what I was saying earlier makes a lot more sense, where you can choose the exact spot you want the image to be on, whereas other page builders constrict you to the options in their drop-downs. You can have this image open in a lightbox when someone clicks it just by clicking on that. You can shrink an image by just dragging and dropping the corners. Change the aspect ratios if you want. There's a lot of flexibility in what you can do. You can drag and drop these columns to reorder them. You can change the width of columns by clicking and dragging. This is very common amongst other page builders now. Brizy is one of the first to give these options, but now they're commonplace. Bottom, as part of our contact block, we have a contact form. Brizy allows you to build the contact form right in the builder. So we have under here, we have our elements that we can add. These are the elements that come with the free version. There's also integrations that add elements that you don't currently see here. For example, WooCommerce integration will add more elements that will pop in when you have WooCommerce installed. If you don't have it installed, they don't need to clutter the workspace with those elements. And so if we add the form, let's see where it is, right here. Drag and drop it. We add the form up there, for example, and we can click on any one of these fields, click on this little field editor button. We can choose the field type, text, email, number, paragraph, or select. And you have to, if you're not familiar with forms, you have to go through these and see what they actually do. Text is most commonly the input field for, say, a first name. Let's just put that in there. We're going to make it required. Even though it says email here, it's actually a text field. We can just type in or click into here and write in here first name. And we can customize the width of the field, the spacing, space between the fields. We can then customize the fonts. If we have a custom font set up like we did earlier, you can choose the custom font here. Instead of our new style 10, this could be like the form font, for example. Or we can just customize it here as we see fit. We can change the colors. We can add a background color to the fields if we want. We can change the label color. Let's make it red so it really stands out. We can change the border color. Let's make it green. Loud and obnoxious. We can click this gear to access more styles on the left. So there's lots of customization options you have for the forms. And then if you want to add more fields, you just come in, pick any one, click on duplicate, click into it, change the field type. Let's make this one email. Call it email. Then we can change the settings for it as needed. We also have this drop down. If you click on the drop down appears. We can just type in here, call this bananas, and this one apples. You want to add another option, just click into here, start typing, hit enter, you have your new option. Now this select field has those options. What you might want to do is change select to maybe select your favorite fruit, and that way they know what they're selecting. And that's how we can customize and create forms right inside the Brizy Builder, super easy. The button has all the same options as our previous buttons. Want to change the text in there, just do it like that. Boom, done. We've already seen throughout this video some options for responsive settings for adjusting things for tablet and mobile, and of course desktop, which we're working on here. We also have the option to switch directly to tablet or mobile by choosing this option down here, clicking on tablet. Everything adjusts to tablet size, and now all the edits we make are going to be applied just to the tablet version. And the phone or the mobile has its own option here, and we can make adjustments as needed and have these applied just to the mobile phone. The last couple options we have, this little paper icon allows us to pick a page template. The page template defines what this page we're creating fits into. If we choose the Brizy template, then the template is just what we're working on here. If we choose default, then we have the themes header, the navigation presumably, and the footer on the page, and the Brizy content in the middle. So you can choose either of those, whatever suits your needs the best. We can also add a featured image right here. Click on there. We have a regular upload. Let's switch back to desktop. Makes a little more sense there. Regular upload here for the featured image. This hamburger icon has some more settings. We can submit issues and bug reports directly to Brizy. Learn more about Brizy, shortcuts, plugin settings, back to WordPress, and upgrade to Pro. I'm going to click on that one. And I have to point out that this is one of the only page builders out there that gives you a lifetime one-time payment option. Every other builder has recurring annual options. Brizy has them too. You have 3 sites for $49 a year, unlimited sites for $99, and a lifetime for $299. And the lifetime option becomes an even better deal because it includes Brizy Cloud, unlimited access to all these things, and 2 years of unlimited hosting domains. I'll tell you what that means in just a minute. But Brizy Cloud is a pretty awesome, innovative feature. No other page builder has it. I'm going to create a tutorial that's dedicated only to that because it's such a cool feature. I'm going to tell you about it right now, but there's going to be a full tutorial coming soon, probably in the next couple days after this one's published. And the other options just give access for the 1 year, which renews every year because it's an annual subscription. You can click on Try Brizy Cloud right here. You don't have to create an account right away. You can create a page, and this takes us into a builder just like we had a moment ago. The big difference is this is not WordPress based. This is done in the cloud, in their website. It has the layouts option that I spoke of a little bit earlier. These are multiple page layouts. This one has 5 different layouts for advisors, 8 for the Alpine Lodge. Look at this nice beach resort. Let's click on that one. You can choose which page you want to have imported. It's very nice. Let's do this home page. Click on import this layout, and now we have this layout imported. We can go ahead and publish this. Let's not change anything. Let's go back out to Brizy Cloud. Let's change the name to the beach. We can go to this URL, copy that, paste it into a new tab, and we have this page loading right here. No WordPress, no nothing. It's at a funny URL, granted, but when you have a paid subscription, you can change that URL. You can click on the 3 dots here, click on Publish, and you can use a custom domain. So you could buy a domain name called mylandingpage.com and have that available. And that is when on the pricing page it said 2 years of unlimited domains. That's what this means. So the custom domains, that's available for 2 years for free. And after that, they charge a nominal fee. I think it's like $1 a month or something that they're going to charge, or something like that, really cheap after the 2 years. You also have the option of having this on a subdomain, and that's on their server. Both of these, custom domain and subdomain, on their server. You can also have a server sync option and an export HTML option, which are hosted on your hosting account. SiteGround, for example, that's where I host my stuff. And server sync is the coolest option because once you have that set up, which I'm going to do in the subsequent video I just told you about, you can make changes on this layout or any page at all, save it, and it's pushed automatically to your server where you can also have your own custom domains, and you're not limited by the 2-year limit that Brizy is going to impose. And you can create sites on there that are not WordPress based, but they're using a page builder. And right now they're only landing pages, so these sites are best suited for 1-page designs right now, but they want to expand that. And pretty soon you'll be able to create full-fledged websites, and you don't have to worry about any of the WordPress headaches like updating plugins and themes, security issues, any of that, because it's hosted in the cloud and you're just syncing it onto your server. There's no WordPress even installed. This is a great option if you have just a 1-page website project and you want to hand it over to your client when you're done and you don't want to have the headaches of managing that later on. You don't have to because it's not on WordPress. Even though WordPress is super powerful, that power comes with headaches. And this is super simple and headache free. And they're also adding the ability to capture leads and gather analytics data. And I'm going to get more into Brizy Cloud in the next video. But suffice it to say, it's kind of a game-changing option because if you've ever opted in to download my 17-point pre-launch checklist or my 10-point WordPress hardening checklist, those are not hosted on WordPress. They're hosted on a platform called ConvertTree that I pay $30 a month for. This can replace that because those are just landing pages. Those are all just 1-page landing pages. You can create landing pages, sales pages, upsell pages, all right in here, have it as part of your yearly subscription, and boom, you're saving a bunch of cash. Another example you're probably more familiar with than ConvertTree, which is what I use, is lead pages. This could replace lead pages. Lead pages has a lot more options, but Brizy Cloud is just getting started. So it's definitely something to look into. And right now you can get in for super cheap, $49 a year for 3 sites. You have Brizy Cloud. You have all these things except for the sub accounts, and you can get started building these landing pages super quickly and easily and have a super capable WordPress page builder as well. So that's a quick overview of some of the awesome features Brizy brings to the table. Obviously, I couldn't cover every single option because there are a lot of them, and I couldn't go through all the individual widgets it has, but I'll make a video series later on that shows you all the widgets available and how they all work. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you don't miss those when they come up. Make sure you leave a comment down below just to say hi or ask a question, and like this video because that's what gets the video ranking higher, gets it in front of more people, gets it helping more people. And this video up here is going to be the one that that shows you how to use Brizy Cloud in detail once the video is finished. It might take a few days if you're watching this on the day this one's published. Be patient, that one's coming. And the one down here is the one YouTube thinks you should watch. And until next time, my name is Bjorn Allpass from WP Learning Lab. Keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.